What up? What up?
Yo, bless. What you saying, Ed?
You know, just having a good night. Just having a good night. Doing these shows. Having fun.
Yeah,
You know,
good man. Good.
you. How's this Friday going for you?
Going good, man. Just relaxing. Just chilling down in the headquarters right now. One of the headquarters.
Nice, nice. Like
Why?
I definitely see you on the grind. You killing it, getting guests all the time. Getting you're on fire right now. How did the Down to Earth podcast come about?
How Down to Earth podcast came about is basically we're always doing media stuff
Right.
already. We already have something called Earthquake Sound International.
Okay.
Basically, it's a family business.
Yeah.
My father had you could call it a D. Some people may call it a sound system, right? And
Yeah.
we developed a studio after years as my brother. It's me and my brother, right? And from
Yeah.
that, right, let's fast forward to this time. We transformed it into a podcast. I always wanted to do a podcast. I always wanted to do this because I used to always what we call reasoning with the older folk, my dad's friends, right? We would talk in the studio. I was a younger uh, and we would talk about all different types of issues. So this was like something that was gonna come naturally as I got older, and I'm an artist myself, right? So I always wanted to do a podcast because I got inspiration from like certain other individuals who was doing a podcast like in the early days and up till now, like Be Real. Much respect to him and others
Yeah.
like him, right?
For real,
So
for me early on too, like when I like it was the same thing for me. Like I seen like rappers starting to like do media. Like Be Real was one of them. Snoop Dogg was one of them. I was like, yo, if Snoop Dogg's doing this stuff, I'm like, there must be something to it,
that's true. That's
right?
true.
I was like, yo, if Snoop Dogg's doing this shit, and other rappers aren't doing this yet, it's definitely and look at it now, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
talking right now. So basically, it's a podcast and a media company. We just don't do the podcast. We help develop artists, promote artists, and we do videos. You get what I mean? We know to do production, a whole bunch of things. You get what I mean? Like
For sure.
basically a media company, a podcast, and other podcasters are gonna come out of it.
For sure, for sure. When like you were like you're saying you're an artist first.
Yeah.
Me like me, it was the same thing. I was an artist first, and like I started doing the interviews, and then like I was like I started hearing about podcasts, and I'm like that's pretty much what I'm doing already. Just like it's not it hasn't been called that, you know.
Facts.
For sure.
That's the way I have to evolve as an artist
Yeah.
nowadays. You can't just do it, right?
Yeah, how important do you think it is for I stress this to artists some artists just put out their music and you don't really hear much from them. You don't really get like their personality. Like
Yeah.
like a person has a cool personality and they're on a podcast
Yeah.
and then somebody checks out their music and they likes it and they like it. Like when they're going in to listen to their music, they're already having an expectation of like, yo, that dude was cool on the podcast. I want to hear his shit, right? Like
Yeah.
so like
Facts. That's
so how important do you think it is for artists to do interviews?
it's very important, especially nowadays, COVID era.
Yeah,
Very. You think that your videos is enough? Like you do all these videos, that's not enough because no shows anymore, no venues, venues.
right.
You have to evolve to do virtual shows if you can, and you have to do the virtual shows the right way with sound quality.
Yeah,
Because some people do shows and it sounds like like I don't know what it sounds, like, but
yeah,
you have to basically you have to do interviews. People want to know your personality, like what you're saying earlier, as an artist. So now people have time to if, check out, or you would say, investigate the artist even more deeper because people take more time now because of the era we're in. So you can't be whatever shitting or bull crapping the audience just with clout anymore. People
Right.
see through that. You want to see the individual's character to really sell. I would say international. You can fool probably maybe the local people, but international people want to know your character. That's why podcasts. That's why I developed myself as an artist into a podcast because I wanted the audience to know a little bit more about me, and I like to help and promote other artists because I love art, right? So I listen to all different types of music. Even before this whole, as I could tell you, over 25 years of experience of developing artists as a young come to our basement, which was a studio, and
Talk to him.
sharp other artists who would come by and do their tapes or and basically sharpen in the dungeon, like the definition of the underground MC.
Yeah.
That's me. I used to freestyle in high school, freestyle street, Caravana time downtown. I love going off the top. That's a lost art form nowadays to a lot of the youth. So I'm the MC, and I can sing too. So there's not just one genre. I'm like, you can't put me in a box.
For sure, for sure. I definitely feel like that's not really grind. We end up doing we're like we get really good at something, and we're like, yo, I'm like, you see something else, and you're like, yo, I can do that too. And you start and all of a sudden you have like 5 different things you're known for, right?
Yeah, true. Fact. Like right now, it's me and my brother. My brother has always been into the video arts, like into videos, just art. He used to draw a lot of like Marvel comic characters and
Yeah.
do that, like science fiction stuff and music too, hip hop. That what you call the new year. Like we listen to everything because I have two older brothers than me, so I've been listening to all the old school to the new school, old rock, like this and Guns N' Roses, all different type of music. Then I got a reggae background because my father were deep into the reggae, right? The reggae and roots reggae, dancehall. We even had artists what we used to even work with, like reggae artists, come by the studio. Back come by. I used to learn from my dad who were guitarists and bassists and pianists, real music. I grew up around real musicians. Not too much artists have that pleasure of getting that real musician, and I'm an MC.
Right. One thing that I really learned from you is when I tuned into your live and you had I didn't see your hands come up and do it or nothing like that. I guess you had somebody else comment and like mention me and and say hey and me I'm like yo I need to have somebody over here helping me with that shit. So like when somebody comes because sometimes when you log on somebody's live, and if the piece of the conversation at that very moment isn't really hitting you, I sometimes you just leave, right? But then if you tune in and the person's like, oh hey Eddie, how's it going? And you're like, okay, I'll stay for a couple more moments, a little bit longer and see what's going on with this, right? So I'm gonna take that and it's all about learning from each other.
Yeah, that's how we do it. We should be doing this like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
This is what we need because I feel myself there's a lack of this, right?
Yeah.
Especially from Canada, there's a lack of this. We need more of this work to just build. That's all I'm saying. Like there's a lack of it, and the more we do, like my brother's like a duo, Batman and Robin. When he stuff sometimes when I'm on and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because I do he does graphic design, his son does graphic design. So it's like a whole team, what's going on. And what I love about this through the time developing, a lot of people have shown support. A lot of artists that I worked with and came on the show, they show support without me asking. So I love that. Like, it's good to get that feedback and that love right back. Like, I don't even have to sometimes promote myself. It's other people doing it. And it's respect to them because I promote them too, no matter what. I'm a real you get what I mean?
For sure. For me, if I ever know anything like technical, like I have no problem telling like somebody else like I've had somebody say, oh, if you teach all these people this thing, like they're gonna be better than you at it. And me, like I realized that my show is based on my personality. Like
Yes.
like people tune in because they like to hear the shit that I say. So if I know some technical thing that I can help somebody else with, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna help them, like because like nobody's gonna be me, and same thing with you.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be you, right?
Mhm.
So you can't duplicate it. So might as well share the knowledge, right?
Exactly. Like when we hear like Ed TV, that's Ed TV, right?
Yeah,
When you hear, even though you see Down to Earth, you see the host Shawn Myrie, my brother, will be saying he's the one in doing some of the commercials. But I said, yo, it's your host Shawn Myrie. So I could have many shows. It could be Down to Earth. It could be this and that, right? Same TV. It's different sides of your personality. You get it? Saying?
for sure, for sure. Like how has it been for you for like for me, like I have tons of different ways of like kind of like finding artists, but it's always different. But like do you have like a lot of different processes for finding artists, or do you just like have one way?
Now, how it is though, I don't look for just the one who's like the shiny one and showing all the cloud and the glitz because, like I'm saying, I have the experience of developing artists through the year.
For sure.
So I will look for someone who they could have 300 followers, right?
Yeah,
But my is to get them out there in the universe, and later on they could have 300,000. You never know. Anyone lottery could develop faster than that person who has maybe those 20,000 followers, right?
exactly.
It's not how much followers I put it out there. It's who's following you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And how I look at artists, I look for not just someone who's following the trends. I like to see someone who's abstract, that they could do different things on different productions, right? Or they just have a different voice, or their style. It doesn't even have to be just their music, how they look. Because like it or not, the looks is what sells a lot nowadays, or it's how they promote themselves, right? And it's just I have the love for the music, so I actually listen to the music instead of some people just say I'm just interviewing. I actually listen to the whole, like a lot of their project, like I'm a fan.
for
It's
sure. Yeah,
right before I interview them, I'll be listening to the music. I'll be jamming to the music, right? Some of the artists I'll be burning like a spliff right before I interview them. So I only heard one, two, maybe two tracks, but before half an hour before, I'm vibing, I'm listening to them, right?
yeah.
So I'm getting more of them, and then we could connect down to earth when you come on. And it's not just the art. I deal with like business professionals, people because I smoke weed, the cannabis community, anyone who's willing, anyone who's has a goal to do something.
Yeah,
I will because yeah, I love art, but part of art is different ways. You could be a painter, you could be an actor, you could
exactly.
be an act, you could be anything. Those are parts of art. If you're an athlete, you try to sharpen up that too, right?
For me, yeah, for me too. Like I like having like different types of people on because like I honestly believe like we can learn something new every day, and
Yeah.
like hearing like different perspectives. Like sometimes after an interview, I'm like, oh shit, it just or later on in the week, and I'll be doing something, and something like an artist said to me, or I will click, and I'll be like, oh shit, like you know.
Hmm.
So I just love like different perspectives, different thoughts. Like I've always been one to kind of like mix up my palette of like just like different shit. Like even I even food. I'm like I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this. Like
So yeah, that's exactly as it. And as you go, right, like how we're going, it flows, right?
yeah,
Positivities make things go, right? And it's the same with me. It's off the top. There's no script. Some people have scripts to what they do, and I love what you do. It's off the top. You might know who you are and have an idea, but it's off the top. Everything what I do, like how I freestyle, off the top. I used to write, right?
yeah,
But I don't write my music anymore. It's off the a lot of all the recent projects. off the top. Maybe the hook I might have,
Yeah,
written 90% is off the top. Same thing how we're doing this.
for sure.
TV.
For sure.
People can't make original.
Sure. Me, like, I find it super annoying when you message somebody and like they're like, oh, can you send me the list of questions? I'm like, no. No, I can't send you the list of questions. Like that
I
right
just
there makes me like I just like not want to do the interview right there.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Just say you do you.
Yeah,
It's about you. Like how it's all about you and it's
yeah,
all about me. That's that natural energy. That's how things is is more organic instead of scripted,
yeah.
right? Scripted, it looks fake and it's not really entertaining to me, right?
I mean, like,
So it's the same way I watch you and I'm saying this is natural. This is entertaining. I could chill and I could burn, like, for example, I could burn a spliff and relax, right?
yeah,
And, you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what organic, right?
for sure, for sure. The organic feel is definitely like like the best thing. Like me, like I've watched interviews and kind of like I clicked them off. The second I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, like this was already pre set up.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
you can tell those like right away.
you know what I think? Sometimes, and I notice it, sometimes the pretty picture is not everything. So some people paint a pretty picture, but me and you who analyze these, like who are analyzers and fans of like the podcasts or interviews, because I've been a fan of 60 Minutes and 2020, the list goes. When I watch these scripted pages, I notice that they're really not talking about anything because what they're talking about is what everybody's talking about.
Yeah,
And I hear that nothing, that's, if everybody's talking about not really anything what's interesting to me, I want to find out something what nobody really knows about the individual or the situation. So people call me whatever. I call it overstanding. I overstand more than the picture in front of you, the pretty picture. What?
so I want to know like who has been the guest where like where he actually thought the interview was going to go one way, but it went completely a different way, but in a good way. And you just talked about completely something different. Like who is the guest that like that has really like surprised you?
Everything guest was very blessed. The only ones who didn't show up, the
Yeah,
ones who never showed up and took stuff seriously. And you know the funny thing, around season 2, the ones who have not taken me seriously are coming around the block and they're knocking.
for sure.
They're knocking.
Yeah,
All of
me too.
they're knocking.
Me too. Doors locked, bud.
So I don't. That's the only surprise. It's like, wow, you really diss me. But guess what? I always have a guest right after. So you miss your opportunity. Someone who could take that opportunity. And the worst thing in the eyes of competition, like hip hop, is that you miss that, and the next person got it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good because they show you up. So it has happened to many.
Oh, for me, like yeah, I'm just like wow, like you know what though, like I learned something earlier, like way years ago, when I was doing some interviews in Hamilton,
Yeah.
and I invited one artist that was really well known. He was like a lot of people were saying, oh man, you get um uh this guy on your show. I invited him, and then I invited like an up and coming guy, and
Yeah.
like both like for around the same time. I was going to interview both of them.
Yeah.
The one guy, he didn't even bother even messaging me and showing up or whatever like that. And the guy the more known guy, the guy that was taking
Yeah.
it serious, he was 15 minutes early.
That's good. That's
And I was like,
dedication.
yo, like from there, like you just know if somebody doesn't take your shit seriously,
Yeah.
they'll take their own shit seriously.
Yeah, it's true. And I just don't even mention it. I don't even mention it to give them the spotlight. I
Yeah.
just I keep
Yeah.
going. I don't even.
Just keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, you keep moving. That's what you. That distraction will make you lose that positive vibe. You get what I mean? And
Yeah.
you see, me going as you can see, we keep going. Positive vibes. There's been some. If you say the only thing is back of the scenes, there's been some things that people we used to work with, we don't work with, and after then they try to take we give them inspiration as right when they needed it. Now they're acting like they don't know us. You get what I mean? That
For
happens
sure.
too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they'll
For sure.
yeah, they start taking looking at you and trying to follow exactly what you do, but not giving you no credit. That's happened to me 4 times.
Yeah. Oh, like that's happened to me like a million times. Where like I've done like somebody's first interview. I did
Yeah,
their very first interview. They never did an interview before in their life, and like I put them on my platform. Then about a year goes by, and I see they got a new project out, and I'll holler crickets, and then that project doesn't do good,
yeah,
and about a couple months later, oh hey Eddie, you want to do an interview?
yeah,
It's like, yo, like like when you were nobody knew who you were. I was like, yo, you got some talent? Okay, come on my show. And then when you're up, crickets.
yo,
Oh,
you. The artist on here, Flex Todd, bless up, respect. Yeah, he says when he blows, he's gonna come back. You should interview him too, man.
for sure,
Brother, man, great artist.
for sure. But
Trust
yeah,
me.
like I mean, I've run into that like a million times, like with different people, and like
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm like, like. And like if the artist comes back and says, "Oh man, sorry, I did flake and like I was like that," and they're straight up about their shit, come back, you know?
And me, I always
You what?
me myself, as an artist, I would always come back. That's an opportunity. Only that would be stupid to like
For sure.
not like give that up. Like this would have been my third interview or fourth, maybe I forget. Maybe right
Yeah.
interview myself. I'd be doing the interview, right?
Yeah. So I think it was beginning of last year. I ended up trying something like different, and like I like to see more like interview people try this. I actually have an episode of my show where I interviewed myself. And,
Mm-hmm.
like I wrote the whole thing how I was gonna say it, and like
Yeah,
I shaved for the person asking the questions, and I kept the
yeah.
beard, I kept the beard for like the um and like
Uh,
I actually like to see you interview yourself.
yeah, that would be very interesting because
You,
as an artist,
you have to write it, and you have to write it and kind of film it like in a way. But
you
yeah,
know what my flavor? The first part I'd write, right?
yeah,
And to make it look more natural, the second part would be like off the top freestyle because the artist, right?
yeah.
So whatever you write, and that's right now in certain cases, the first part I would write, and the second part I'd freestyle off of what I have written.
Yeah,
It's like I'm doing a song, right? I
yeah.
know what I'm gonna. I already know what I'm gonna say. So I'm ready to react to what I'm gonna say, what I've written.
Because like
That's what I'm.
for me when I first thought about it, I was like, I'm like, how would I freestyle with? How would I just like say things, but like have the timing right, right? So,
Mm,
that's why I had to write it. 'Cause, like I wanted to have the timing right because it was like it's just a weird thing, right? Because like you can't have two of you on the camera at the same time, right?
no, yeah,
You have to film it, right?
it's true. But you know what? There's all types of things you could do. Bless up one of the special guests coming on. Yeah, he's coming on tomorrow night. Check him out, Ryan.
So
Rastan. Check out Rastafari Samurai. Yeah, man, Ed. I love what you're doing. We need more. We need more of this, man. You gotta keep going because, yo, it's entertainment time. This COVID and all this paranoia time. People, it's like therapy to people, and they individuals, especially artists. That's what a lot of people go to. Vibrate to the music.
yeah.
You do,
like
man.
with the whole COVID shit, like people have been done watching Netflix. You know, they watch all the movies. They're just like, yo, like, they want to know what's going on out there.
Mm.
So they'll come on lives and they'll check out what people are saying. You know, because you can only really sit there and watch movies for so long, right?
Yeah, true. Facts.
So
Facts.
people like more people are coming on this and checking it out, and it's dope. As far as an artist, you got like stuff coming out.
Yeah, I got a lot. First of all, I got a big catalog. You can check it out on all digital platforms. I have a new album on. This is my Chronic version of Chronic, like Dre's shit.
Oh shit!
April 420, right? But it's gonna be 420. 422 is my birthday, so I call it Down to Earth since I've been doing this
Yeah,
podcast, right? 422. The 22nd is my birthday on Earth Day. My birthday is really on Earth. So 420 is 2 days before. Me and my brother, we last 420 in Toronto. It was 420 2019 was the last 420 in Toronto. Earthquake Sound. We came down there, brought some artists, and I was performing on that. Right.
yeah,
That was before COVID. Before COVID started. Right.
yeah,
Now this album is basically a tribute to marijuana, as you call it, and weed and music and reggae and influences through my life. But this one, I think, is my best. You could hear all my catalog. Believe me, there's a lot of it. But this one is, I feel, is like my one, and it's universal. You get what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm giving you guys a lot of treat. It's really like different buds, like edibles, and it's like what people would say with the sativa and the indica. This every track I got Christmas trees out right now. I got Mary Jane out right now, and I got Louder. Right? I came out with Mary Jane a good long time ago, but that was a single. So I was just dropping singles recently.
yeah.
This was from Christmas time, and now I got Louder coming out, and there's a lot more. You can see the track list, and I'm gonna drop that. Make sure I drop that in April 420, and you could check out the whole lineup, like Freeform.
Yeah, yeah. As far as I love smoking. I smoke weed all the time. But edibles, I actually had a bad experience a little while
Mm.
ago, where like this girl came over and like she brought like a couple of muffins that were like edible muffins, and I did too, and we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I'm trying to say something, I couldn't remember what I was saying, so I was like oh fuck, I just stay quiet, and then I was like, oh, I forgot what I said, and then like my next thought when I started talking again, I forgot what I said. I was like, yo, what the fuck, like, and I just kept on having that because like the edibles were so strong, and I was like she's sitting there laughing at me. She's like, oh, these are really good. I'm like, no, I'm like, I want to remember what I'm saying,
Mhm.
you know?
I never really eat edibles really so recently. I mostly smoke spliff and
Yeah,
shit, and recently tried vape. I never really even smoked the vape mostly all the time. But this album, what's coming? If you are a herb smoker, if you love reggae, love hip hop, if you love good vibes R&B, if you like just that slow celebration of marijuana, you're gonna love this album. You know, Down to Earth, 422, right?
yeah.
And the sponsors are going to be shouting them out. What I got for the Down to Earth podcast show. We got a digital magazine developing for the culture. You get what I mean? Some people say that Earthquake Sound International Down to Earth. We really rep the culture for the ground to the top. Now we're going on the top. You get what I mean? We just keep going up.
Yeah. So I actually want to know picture this: you're going somewhere, car ride, you're going for a while. You can bring three CDs, a reggae CD, a hip hop CD, and R&B CD. What are those three CDs you're bringing?
Tupac, right? Bob Marley, Michael Jackson.
Boom.
You might as
Yeah, you can't go wrong right there. Yeah, Tupac, Bob Marley, Michael Jackson. Yep.
Yeah, might as well. Those are the icons. I don't care what anyone says. The most commercialist, but they're all sharp in their tool. Tupac for the commercial, and he still is a MC. Sharpness, right?
Yeah.
Storytelling, right?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna be getting Bob Marley, storytelling, deep thought, spiritual, universal, right? And
Yeah.
then you get Michael Jackson, universal, same, and everybody everywhere. Like for R&B, don't tell me you ain't Michael Jackson knocking everybody out from the late 60s, 70s, and the 80s up into the 90s. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So you mix that all together, that's what I'll be bringing. Because everybody's influenced from Michael Jackson in the R&B, like it or not, from you as a little to older. And after then, you're going to go to Bob Marley. People are still wearing Bob Marley shirts and listening to his music, new generation.
For sure.
Tupac, everybody, they're influenced a lot of the rappers off of Tupac, even how his images, the tattoos, everybody has tattoos now. He had tattoos from 1993.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? Oh, they can't tell me Tupac ain't top of hip hop when everybody's rocking the tattoos. There was no one popularizing the tattoos in hip hop. If people want to do that research, you can, yeah, popular until Tupac came.
Right. Like me, I'm really a huge fan of all three. Sometimes when I get my Tupac my Tupac playlist, and
Mm-hmm.
like that day, I'll overthink everything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because like Tupac lyrics will and get my mind going, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's like yo, I am actually overthinking like everything.
So that imagine a Tupac. I think they done a remix. Tupac Bob Marley.
Yeah. Woo.
DJ mixed that like Bob Marley doing the hook, Tupac doing the. You know how that goes. Some
Yeah.
guitars. Ooh. Then Michael Jackson with that soulful voice in between cutting.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I like other MCs, all types of MCs, but yeah, Biggie's great. Big L's great. Rakim, KRS One, those are one of my favorites. KRS One,
For sure.
Rakim. I know there's a Big Daddy, but
So
then
correct.
I'll give you some of my palette. Duck Down, Mob Deep, New NWA, Easy E. We say Ren, King T from the West Coast.
Mm,
One of my favorites. Ice Cube, but very much Snoop, of course. The Dog Pound, and like I say, what Fat Joe, Respect. There's so much in the East, guys you'd have never heard of anymore. You don't hear about them anymore. Like Wu Tang, of course, right?
of course. Yeah.
They have so much like groups. What has a Far Side? Do you remember Far Side?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I could keep going. You know what I'm going with, right? I'm going with like even artists people don't even remember anymore. You know what
For
I'm
sure.
saying?
For sure. No. Yeah. All those guys are like super dope. Actually, you mentioned Cube. So like when I first started getting into hip hop, when I was younger, I liked a lot of like the alternative music, like Korn, um, Limp Bizkit, all that kind of stuff. So then when I bought the Family Values VHS, like
Yeah.
and had Cube on there, and I'm like, who the hell is this? I'm like, yo, I'm like, so like I had to listen to more Cube, and then like from there I was like, it just felt like it just like it started like the snowball effect. It was
Yeah.
like,
Cube
yeah,
doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Cube, I think even influenced. I think like Biggie, guys like
yeah,
Biggie, because Cube was doing storytelling from
yeah,
the late 80s before even anyone had a career. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like Cube was writing for Easy E.
for sure,
Cube was writing for Dre sometimes,
yeah,
probably, right?
yeah,
So when you hear those records, it's Cube from way back until now. Cube's one of the best writers of all time, probably in hip hop or whatever music,
yeah,
because his lyrics.
and like writing movies too. Like him and DJ Pooh wrote Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I'm not gonna leave out Nas
Oh, for
for
sure.
sure. People in New York. He's like the
Nas is my personal favorite MC. I'm gonna put like if somebody's gonna say, yo, who's your favorite MC?
Nas.
I'm saying Nas.
Nas.
Yeah,
I'm sure between Rakim, Nas, right,
yeah,
and maybe bit of Biggie because my background Jamaican too, like Biggie,
Like
right?
I'm huge on Pun. I'm big Pun.
Hmm.
He's in my top five for sure.
Yeah, there's many artists. Busta Rhymes, I'm not gonna. He's a sharp individual.
For sure.
Um, Even there's so much. Even AZ, you see AZ,
For sure.
he's one of the originators of that flow
Yeah.
from New York, from Harlem. A lot of, and then Mike Geronimo.
Mike
People
Geronimo.
look up.
Yeah.
Those are the guys from Queens and those places who sharpened up a lot of MCs with Mobb Deep, and you get what I mean. And so many more. Like too much to even name. New York is like a universe itself of MCs, right?
I,
So
how important like you think it is to have like a competition around like just other people do kind of like a similar kind of thing how important is like competition to be around because like sometimes like for me like I have to feel like I'm number one I should like I just my competitive nature like even
yeah,
I'll actually be doing stuff that I'm not actually good at. Yeah, I'll be playing a video game against somebody. I don't play video games very often, but if I lose, I feel like I'm like yo like I'm like I feel a way about it because I'm a competitive person, right?
yeah. But I always feel like you're number one, man. You always gotta think like that, like you're number one. See, I think the same way, but I'm not really number one because I got my brother, right? So we think together. That's he as number one. You get what I mean?
Right.
Me and we think together now as number one. It's like number one could even equal into some two because that's a teamwork, right? That's a team. And you're number one. You should think you're number one. You should always think you are number one. There's nothing wrong with thinking you're not number one. Because if you don't think you're number one, you're not people just try to take you off of your guard and then you won't be number one anymore.
Right.
You should always think, no doubt.
Like when
That's how I
like when I walk out of this house, like my shoulders are back. I'm like yo, rah, like
exactly. You should think like that, man. In this world, to survive, that's how it is. That's the realness. No matter what anyone says, you got to think like you're number one. And that's why I know Ed TV is gonna keep growing. People gotta have to go check out Ed TV when he's on and everything. You get what I mean?
for sure, for sure. Whenever you have a guest on the show, like me, I want people to take away from like when I have guests on the show, I want people to take away from like this is how it is to chill with the person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's how.
is there any like particular things you like on your interviews you want your fans to take away from like the guest?
Let the guests enjoy themselves. Let
Yeah,
the guests enjoy themselves. That's the art of what I feel is success. That if you enjoy yourself, I have done what the Most High has given me the power to do. Bring positive vibes to the universe. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's how. So, right, like for example, now how we're vibing the same way. You get what I'm saying? You take
yeah,
away positive vibes and good energy, because I know it's gonna be like this. We're gonna continue this. See how they Insta has updated their thing now. Now we could do even our own. We could network our platforms even more. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4. Could
for
be
sure,
me, you, and we don't even know. Maybe we invite someone, me and you, Down to Earth and Ed TV. Invite another podcast on. See
for
what
sure,
they're saying.
for sure,
And another.
and definitely I wanted to like and switch this around. I want to come on the Down to Earth podcast.
Yeah, man. Sure, of course. Love to have you on, man. Anytime, man. Like how we're chopping it up right now. Anytime. You're good.
For sure, for
Anytime.
sure. I think a group chat with me, you, and a couple other people that do interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the chat is somebody that does interviews.
Trust me.
Would be fire.
Two more, I think, right? I think there's two more we could add. Two more people.
What's that?
I think we could add two more people now.
Okay. I didn't actually know. I didn't know we could do that on here.
Updated. They just updated that. You could add two more people. I never tried it yet, but we have to try it one time. Set it up. Make sure it's right. That's what's going on, everybody. So at TV and Down to Earth, we'll be networking with someone out there in the universe. You get what I mean?
For sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Uh, yeah. So uh, is there like a 5 year plan, 10 year plan? Like, is there like a goal? You're like, yo, like what is like the next landmark a goal for you?
Yeah, that's a good question because everything I wanted to accomplish, most of the stuff is coming together. But a 5 year goal, I don't like really. You never know what might come in 5 years. But my real I would say ascension has come right now. There's no 5 year goal anymore because it's all coming. I've been working on this before people
Yeah.
see me
So
out
like
on this
this,
before I on this doing the down to earth or anything. I was always doing my music. I was always doing my networking, and my networking was ever since the internet got popular. That's all I got to
okay.
say. Ever since it got popular, I know all the systems before even Instagram exists. So right now, everything's just coming to coming. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
The plan is here. The 5 year plan has come.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's definitely good to be like ahead of the curve on stuff. Like me, yeah, when I started doing interviews, it was the same time like Be Real was starting to do his, Snoop Dogg was starting to do his, and I was like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I need to get on this, and uh I remember like when the internet first started becoming a thing, and people had Winamp and Napster.
Mm-hmm.
What I do with that is I burn CDs for people, and
Yeah,
but I'd have like all the mainstream songs on there,
yeah,
I put some of my own songs sprinkled in.
yeah.
So like you'd hear you'd hear like a Jay-Z song, you'd hear like a Nas song, and then you'd hear one of my songs.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it, yo. That's like a selector. That's what my pastor is a selector.
Yeah,
Different. You put that's like your own sound. Trust me, you're playing your selection, what you like.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what they. Okay, you see how they say DJ here? Like in Jamaica, they say selector. So you could be a selector. You're picking these songs, your favorite songs, and you mix one of yours.
yeah.
People hear that. They hear this your selection of your favorite songs a certain way, maybe mixed or whatever, and then your song. Yeah, man, that's what's good. That's good.
Like,
That's how you network.
for me, I can imagine the quality change on on some of those old CDs. This is when I was like a teenager, right? This is when I was a teenager. My mix wasn't very good. It was probably like these professional songs, and then my shit comes on. It was like,
Mm,
but we all grow, and we all
yeah.
and just improve our shit. But how funny is it like looking back at something something of the old material? Like for me, some of it's cringeworthy to me. Looking back at my own shit, and some of it's like amazing to me. I'm like, oh man, like it takes me right back to that moment. How is looking back at some of that old shit for you?
It's very good for me. It's like a treasure because you know what? All the newest stuff you heard, you're gonna hear, right? It's great, right? But my first stuff I professionally kind of put together,
Yeah,
Bricks is ahead of its time, and it's like I love listening to it because it's like my story, right? I call it revolutionary but Rasta. Those lyrics is like my Bible, what people will call sharp. The production I could update it, but that's like Ice Cube inspired and just me and every types of like Nas,
yeah,
Rakim, every from Toronto up north. That influence and Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, Peter Tosh, everything. You're gonna hear like everything, even Genesis. I don't, hip hop, reggae, techno, all types of stuff. A fusion of music, universal. You're gonna hear all of that on that album. So that album, you're gonna hear a story, revolutionary but Rasta, and I have many more albums. What I have out is my most recent one is 20. It's called again Third Eye Vision. Third Eye Vision. That one. This is tell you how much albums I got. I got a lot. Third Eye Vision album came out 2020. 2020.
Okay.
Right. One of my recent projects, and people like that. It's a mixture of commercial and some real hip hop. You're always gonna get. You're gonna see my progression.
Yeah.
Right. I like storytelling, and that there's a lack of that now in these times of lyricists. So you're gonna hear stories, right?
Yeah.
My style, like everybody else, you're gonna hear from probably I would say Toronto. Only like the vets, maybe some of the vets, but yeah, you're gonna get everything, man. It's worth it. When you go on my Spotify, you're getting a story, a library, a Bible. I'm talking positive stuff. 90% of my music, I would say 95% of my music, I never curse. Because I had to practice as an MC in my home studio when my mom was there, not to curse. Even though some people used to do their little cursing, but me, that's how I develop as an MC. I never curse. So when you hear my music, even children could listen to it. Old people, the more older
That's huge.
elders, everybody could listen to it. So you're not gonna hear no curse words. That's what I would say. Really, maybe one, two, maybe out of all the catalog, 5 songs have curse words. And it's not a lot of curse words.
That's definitely a good thing. So yeah, so you can play that around like all vibes. Like yeah, like sometimes like yeah, I don't want my music just playing in like the hip hop clubs and like when everybody's just sitting around like just partying. Like I want to like I want people to like be like, yo, I want to go for like a jog and listen to music.
That's what I'm doing it for, man. I'm doing it for everybody, the universe, right? I have like like I said, I have another one called Black Yeshuan. That's an abstract album. It's not really rapping on there. There's some rapping on there, but it's mostly like singing on there. And it's like techno mix with hip hop. So if you want to have an idea, this different types of abstract music. It's all abstract.
Yeah.
Every track is abstract and mathematical. You get what I mean? With lyrical stuff I'm giving you. You get what I mean? Like really the MC. When I say I'm an MC, I do it. I used to call myself Live MC before I came on Instagram. I was called Live MC. That's what I named myself first as my alias, and I would always do freestyles. Anytime I was on, I'm doing freestyles, nothing else. So that's how I came onto this platform, freestyling.
Okay.
Then I gave them the real name, Shawn Myrie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's definitely like a cool man like when you hear like somebody rap and like they mention something that's like right there or like something like super current. You're just like, oh shit, like this shit is really off the dome.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I do it off the dome all the time, man. All the time.
For sure. For sure. Well,
you want to get something off the dome?
Yeah, let's get let's hear it.
I give you it. Yo, I'm on Ed, never sleeping, in the bed, alive and awake. I'm giving you the earthquake, souls take you out in the night. Yo, it's like kryptonite, you gotta get a high height. I pray to the most. Now you know that I ain't afraid of ghosts. Devils may roast in this fire. You know that I'm rapping through the live wire, higher on a level, crush the devil. Outside in the cold with soul rebels fighting in Babylon's system. Got that wisdom. They want to destroy, but you know that I'm a man, I'm never a boy. Playing this game like a toy, electric, you know I'm bringing them effects. Got them ancient texts reading. Some people, they ain't reading right. They don't got the light, you know, they ain't polite. I got the hype. Yo, like I said, you know, off the top.
Off the top. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna roll up and I'm gonna get ready for my next guest. I want to thank you for being on the show.
That's up, man. Much respect, Ed TV.
And
yeah, check it out, man.
And we'll definitely be on talks, and we'll book a time for me to come on the Down to Earth podcast.
Yeah, man. Down to Earth. Check us out Friday, Saturday nights, and you know tonight is a blessed night because tonight I didn't do the Down to Earth. It's on Ed TV Live, and tomorrow. Check me out on the Down to Earth. Bless up, Ed. Much respect for having me on.
For sure. All right, man.
Mm.
You have a good night and stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Bless up.
All right, all right peace.